So I'm a sucker for nuance, I guess. Maybe part of me still wants to believe in the good in people. But I want to talk about right wingers and left wingers. Because, like it or not, the left wing is exhibiting a lot of the same behaviors that the right wing exhibits that we fault them for. And I'm not free from that. We're human beings and we act from emotion. That much is a given. But the way a lot of conservatives and the red pill bullshit, the way a lot of these people were manipulated was because of grievances that they have, which on the left are largely mocked, ridiculed, and dismissed. To an extent, I feel that is also ableist because people on the left, generally speaking, tend to be more well rounded and educated. People on the right tend to live in the types of communities that I live in, rural communities, and by large are more conservative. Also, if you look at the demographics of who makes up conservative support, it is a lot of young men, single men, the types of people that love Joe Rogan and all that kind of shit. Now, I've been making content for 5 years, and I started off very aggressive, which honestly is saying a lot, but Freedom Convoy happened. I got in a few fights, or arguments, I should say, with friends of mine that I grew up with. A lot of the really stupid shit pissed me off. And yes, we come to find out later that a lot of the people we're arguing with are fucking bots and not even real people. Or, they're Russian or just people trying to get a rise out of you for shits and giggles. Like, I have received so many death threats by conservatives and left-wingers that I'm desensitized to it by now. Now, generally speaking, the left-winger ones, those people are fewer and far between, certainly. And I, being a heterosexual, cisgender man, obviously there's people, in the author world and stuff, I know creators and such that deal with a lot of bullshit. One woman author that I am mutuals with has like 500,000 subscribers. I have like 29, collectively 90,000 across all my socials. I am just barely squeaking the mid-size creator category. Like, I have a pretty sizable reach online. My videos do get a lot of engagement. A lot of times you see the most egregious examples of human behavior when it's right-wingers or whatever. You stitch videos because someone said something and it's a good hook. And, I'm an author too, so I have a financial incentive to garner engagement and get people's attention. And a lot of that was genuine anger and frustration. How could these people believe such stupid things? But I think they've been... I remember back in like the 2016 elections and stuff with Hillary and Trump, and a lot of the narrative that was going around was the elite. Oh, we're disillusioned by the mainstream and all this stuff, and that's where conspiracy theories come into play and why propaganda is so effective. Because it gave them a sense of community, it gave them a scapegoat and validation for the frustrations that they were feeling. And it was pointed in the wrong direction, sure. But psychologically, people's minds do funny fucking things. They will make up whatever story or version of events they need in order to not feel things. People can, revise their own history and just, it's fucking stupid. And the left wing is especially bad with this. The whole left eating their own and the hyper partisanship and the very high litmus tests over who's left-wing enough. I think everyone online as well is in such a combative state towards each other because, conservatives and their reasons and are very, warranted outrage at the egregious and monstrous things they do and say. But I think to some degree that's radicalizing us as well. It's made me more combative than I ever have been. Like, offline, I'm not an aggressive person. I'm, very quiet. But I'm thinking, like, with this wildfire stuff and climate change, we're never going to convince conservatives by yelling at them, by screaming at them, by throwing facts in their face and calling them stupid. And we need them on our side, even if we don't want to be on their side. We don't want to hold hands with these kinds of people. We need to. We need to band together. We can't do it ourselves, or we would have by now. And I think us being at each other's throat is the game that the rich and powerful want us to be playing. Because as long as we're doing that, we're not going after them. And people have, again, fickle memories, and they'll make up whatever version of events and fill in the blanks after the fact in order to preserve their own self-image or how they feel about a certain situation. Right now, people are paying attention. The wildfires are impacting them. It's fucking hard as shit to breathe outside. We need to get them on our side, to get them out of the fucking propaganda somehow. And I don't know how to do it either. But we can't keep going like this. We're going to be at each other's throats for the next 3 years and then be in the exact same position with Pierre or someone worse at the helm. And then we're just going to go for, like we had Trudeau and then Mark went to the right because he was the concession to protect against Pierre. Well, what if someone worse than Pierre takes up the place? And now we have a version of Pierre next time who's even further to the right than Mark Carney, or the whole overturned window shifts. We are losing the messaging battle. More and more people are getting radicalized every day, and this world is fucked. We're fucked. And we need to fucking act now. And I just don't think what we've been doing has been working. And I'm not saying, get around a campfire and sing Kumbaya, but on economic issues, we can work together. We all want more affordable housing. We all want cheaper groceries. We don't have to agree about every other issue, but we need to get involved at the local level. We need to get off our fucking asses, and we need to get community back where we care about each other and we log off and we don't have this hyper individualism that Western society has. I am just so fucking pissed. A couple days of me not being able to go outside, I like being in the food forest. I'm cranky. I am just so fucking sick of it. I'm sick of our corrupt politicians. I'm sick of arguing with conservatives. I'm sick of being the type of person that I don't want to be. I want to shoot shit, have fun, talk about books and video games and Star Wars and outer space, and I don't want to be breathing in fucking smoke to the point where my chest hurts. I don't want to be constantly having an aggravated nervous system because I'm dealing with people that are giving me death threats or just arguing with me in the comments. I'm just so fucking tired of this. And it's how I afford to fucking eat. So link in profile, go buy my books, join my Buy Me a Coffee or my Ko-Fi or my Patreon or my Substack. It's just burning the candle out at both ends. For years I've wanted to try and make a difference. I don't think I have. I think I've convinced people that are on the left to become further left, but I've tried for so long to try and teach basic civics. I've tried being nice. I've tried, being like them and being a fucking asshole. And I don't know how we're going to get through to the right wing. And furthermore, I don't know how I'm going to get through to the left wing either, because you guys are just as bad. You guys exhibit the exact same behaviors. And I'm not saying that's unique to people that are the conservatives or the left wing. That's all of us. Whether you're in the center or whatever, it doesn't really matter. We are all so firm and set in our positions. And on human rights and things like that, yes, the left wing has every right to be outraged and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying bend those morals when it comes to the treatment of other human beings and people of color. But I think when they're attributed with the left, we end up hurting them more, people of color, other marginalized groups, because people like myself speak up for them. And to them, that might feel like, oh, great, someone's standing up for me, someone who, is a straight, white, cisgender man. But at the same time, I get conservatives pissed off at me. Like, I make fun of them. And it reaffirms them in their position, which might make them more aggressive than they would have been otherwise to a marginalized person who is deemed as weaker and an easier target than myself. Look, I'm not claiming to have all the answers or to be this amazing, example of man. I genuinely want better. I want better for everybody, and that includes the fucking racists, because that is the better world. They wouldn't be racists in my ideal world. And we get there. Some of them, I think, are fucking pieces of shit, and the world would be better off without them, but I completely understand why you feel that way, but they feel the same way about us. They feel the same way about trans people, and we find that abhorrent. So from their perspective, the way we talk about and treat them and wish for their exit from society, we're exhibiting the same behaviors. And, like, I try my best not to, but fuck. I just find myself, I want better. I want to live in a better world. I want to live in a decent country. I want fucking corporations held accountable, our politicians and representatives held accountable. I want good education, healthcare, housing, and affordable fucking food. I want the most vulnerable people in our society to be taken care of, and that shouldn't be a controversial issue. And I get, who cares about right wing or left wing? It's just, we've lost the ability to talk to each other since Donald Trump came along, and I understand why. I don't know. Thanks for letting me vent. I don't know what this video was about or what the purpose was. I'm just so fucking tired.